Aloha, my name is Syed Sarmad and I'm the principal broker for Advantage Vacation. Advantage Vacation is a real estate company specializing in the resales of timeshares. Our offices are located at the Lahaina Cannery Mall in Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii. And today I would like to talk about Maui Timeshares and Maui Timeshare resales. There are two areas of timeshares in Maui. The first is in West Maui, commonly known as Kaanapali or Lahaina area, and then the second area is the Kihei or South Maui area. I'll begin with the West Maui timeshares, beginning with Kaanapali. The first property I'll start with is on Kaanapali Beach, which is the Hyatt Vacation Club, which is presently under construction and is expected to be completed by December of 2014, and occupancy will begin in 2015. There are pre-construction sales taking place now, but resales will not be available until construction has been completed. The Hyatt Vacation Club property is a fixed week floating unit resort with the option to float your unit, and it has points associated with it, Hyatt Vacation Club points associated with it, which will give you access to other Hyatt Vacation Club properties. Next to it is the Marriott Maui Ocean Club, and there are two phases out there. The first phase is the original or hotel conversion phase, which has floating units, and then there are two new towers out there, the Lahaina and Napili Villas, which has floating units and fixed week fixed units out there. And Marriott also has a destination club points program that also impacts the use and availability of units at this property. Then further up north, a few buildings north of it, is the Whaler condominiums, where there are a handful of units which are timeshares, and these were sold as fixed week fixed units, and they were sold in 2-week intervals. And then north of that, on North Kaanapali Beach, is the Western Kaanapali Ocean Resort Villas, and there are two phases. The first phase is the Western Kaanapali Ocean Resort Villas, and then the second phase adjacent to it is the Western Kaanapali Ocean Resort Villas North. This has a floating week usage program with star option benefits, where you have the option to exchange into other Starwood Vacation Club properties. And yes, you can also get star option benefits when you purchase a Western Kaanapali timeshare resale. And then on further north, on the very far north of Kaanapali Beach, is the Kaanapali Beach Club, formerly known as the Embassy Suites, and is currently managed by Diamond Resorts International, which has floating units, and then there are Diamond Resorts Hawaii Collection points associated with it. So it has a point-based program also at this property. And then north of that is the Papakea property, which is a condominium complex oceanfront property where there are fixed week fixed units, and then there are some units that are managed by Vacation International, which are point-based. For the north of that is the Paki Maui, which has again a handful of units, fixed week fixed units. And then moving on further north of that is the Honokoa property, which has floating units, and then there are RCI points associated with it. Then we have the Kuleana Club, which has a handful of units at this property, which are fixed week fixed units. And then further north, across the not on the ocean side, is the Kahana Villa Vacation Club and the Kahana Falls. The Kahana Villa Vacation Club has floating units and has RCI points associated with it, and behind it is the Kahana Falls, which has floating units, and then there are some fixed week fixed units. Moving on back to the ocean side, on Lower Honoapi'ilani Road, is the Kahana Beach Vacation Club and the Sands of Kahana Vacation Club, which has floating units and also has an RCI points program associated with it. Next to the Sands of Kahana is the Valley Isle condominium property, which has a few units that are part of the Vacation International program, point-based program. And then further north of that in Napili is the One Napili Way, which is also on the ocean side in Napili, has fixed weeks and floating weeks. And then last property in Napili area is the Gardens of West Maui, which has floating units and also has part of the RCI points program. Now moving on South Maui area and Kihei area, going to the north part of Kihei area is the Maui Beach Vacation Club, which has floating units and is also part of the RCI points program. And then there will be new property coming online, which will be the Hilton property, where construction hasn't begun, so obviously there aren't any resales available at this point. Construction is expected to begin in 2015, at the Maui Loop property, which they will be taking down and constructing the Hilton Grand Vacation Club property out there. Other properties in Kihei area are the Royal Aloha Vacation Club has a handful of condominium units in various properties in South Kihei area. You also have the Maui Schooner, which has a floating week program, which is on the ocean side of South Kihei Road. You have Kamaoli Beach Club, which is not on the ocean side, but across the Kamaoli Beach, has floating week program. You have the Maui Sunset, which has fixed week, fixed units. You have the Maui Banyan, which has floating units. Now we're going further south. And finally, you have the Maui Hill, which has has fixed week, fixed units. And that is pretty much the landscape of Maui Timeshares. Once again, resales are available in all of these properties except for the Hyatt Vacation Club, which is presently under construction, and the Hilton Grand Vacation Club, where construction hasn't begun. I hope this information has been useful to you. Mahalo.